Okay, we're going to make some demi-glace. I have my pot. I have some stock that I made the other day, some beef stock, garlic, shallots, some thyme, some parsley. So what we're going to first do is put some shallots in. A little olive oil, some thyme, parsley, a little bit of garlic. I'm not going to put mushrooms. Normally with a stock you would put some mushrooms in. I have not a lot of garlic, half a teaspoon. I put a lot of shallots though. I'm not putting mushrooms because I have a guest that is allergic to mushrooms. However, I do have some reduced sauteed mushrooms that I made that I'll add a second sauce when I'm complete with this. So this is for a demi-glace, as I mentioned. Just a touch of salt and pepper, not a lot, because I like to reduce it first and then taste it. And then I'll add some stock once it's reduced with some red wine. Some red wine. I just pulled out a bottle of Benmaro Cabernet Franc. I'm going to use that. We're just going to let this saute up a little bit. And then we'll add the Cabernet Franc. I'm going to add a little more shallot. Turn up the heat a little bit. As I said, I didn't put mushrooms. I would use raw mushroom caps to put in here, but we're not doing that on this particular demi-glaze. The stock is pretty hearty, as you see. It's nice and gelled. This was a stock I made yesterday and reduced it a little bit. All from beef bones. It's entirely beef bones, this particular stock. And the stock also has carrots, celery, onions, some herbs, some garlic, some shallots. So here we go with this mixture here. All right. Even higher. And in a second I'll add the wine. We'll let that reduce. Going to make it nice and hearty. A good 3/4 of the bottle of wine. And we're going to let this reduce. Okay, my reduction is doing pretty well. As you can see, it's a good reduction of the wine from the previous video. I also added some peppercorns, which I didn't mention in the first section. Now I'm going to take my demi-glace. This is my beef demi-glace. By the way, this demi-glace that I'm making is for beef Wellington. I'm taking my stock, excuse me, not my demi-glace. I'm taking my beef stock and giving a good amount in here. I only need for about 11 people, so that should be good enough. And then we're going to actually a little more, and then we're going to let that reduce. And the rest of this beef stock I'm going to use for my onion soup, making the French onion soup. So we're going to let that reduce, and we'll be back to taste. Okay, so I've taken my demi-glace, reduced it with some wine, some shallots, some parsley, peppercorns, and a little bit of garlic. Reduced that down, thyme, and so now we have basically a Bordelaise sauce, and this will be used for my beef Wellington that we're making tomorrow. And that's it. I'll just strain this out, and it'll be all set to go. Okay, so I'm going to take my Bordelaise sauce that I've made here, and I'm going to put it through a china cap. Okay. And we're all set to further reduce this a little bit more just to thicken it up. And we have our Bordelaise.